Yeah, look, thanks, Eric. As Eric said, I'm an accredited installer. I work for a company called EcoVantage, and I've got a couple of roles for them. The first is to conduct home assessments with people. The second is to install a number of the energy efficient products that are available free, provided by the Victorian government and your energy provider, to households. So I'll talk about the energy efficient products in a minute, but I just want to briefly give you all a bit of an overview of what goes on during the energy assessment. So obviously, we've looked at a lot of the ways that homeowners use their energy around the house. We've identified a number of key areas where there is potential for energy inefficiency to occur within the household. So the main areas are how you use your heating and your cooling, your hot water heater, lighting around the house, the draft proofing of the property, so that's having gaps underneath your windows or doors not closing properly, and the ability for air to move from the outside of the property to the inside of the property without you being able to control it. And just general appliance efficiency around the house. So those are the kind of main areas that we touch on during the energy assessment. As an assessor, I think it's really important to use the expertise of the homeowner, because you're always going to know much more about the house that you live in than I as an assessor would ever know in the hour or hour and a half that I'm going to spend with you. So I think it's really important to sit down and speak to you about the issues that concern you about your house, and try and firstly explain why that could potentially be an area of energy efficiency, and give you a better idea about your concerns and whether they're valid or whether that's something you don't need to worry about. Beyond that, during the energy assessment, basically what we would do is, the assessor will do with you, is go through your property, either on a room by room basis or just kind of around the house generally, and look at the main areas of energy inefficiency or areas of energy efficiency that they can identify, and they'll explain that issue to you and just give you a bit of an idea about why that's an area of energy inefficiency. So it might be they notice that speaking about heating and cooling, there's a lot of things that you can do to increase the efficiency of your air conditioner or your heater, without meaning you use the appliance less, just meaning that you use it more efficiently. Or the temperature you run your air conditioner at, or minimising the impact of standby power around the property. Those are just a few of the areas that that I would generally touch on in an energy assessment. There's a lot more, but it obviously depends on what you have within your house, and that's why having an energy assessor come out to your property and spend a bit of time with you, I think, can be a really beneficial thing to do, because it gives you a much better idea about the areas of energy inefficiency within your property. On top of the energy assessment, the assessor will be able to install a number of different energy efficient products. 3 in total. I'll just go through them in order and explain what they are and the benefits of each one of those products. I'm sure a lot of you probably still have the old incandescent light bulbs installed at your property. They can be freely exchanged by the state government for incandescent light bulbs. I've actually got one with me. Sorry, I should have been better prepared. This is what an incandescent light globe would look like. These light globes, they're considered energy inefficient. It's no longer legal to import them in Australia. It's no longer legal to manufacture them in Australia. So the reason that is because purely and simply there is a more efficient way of generating light, and that's by swapping to a compact fluorescent light globe that looks something like this, or a fluorescent light globe that does the same thing. But the state government is providing a free exchange. So by exchange, we mean we take your old light globes away, we replace them, we install and replace them with compact fluorescent light globes like that, so that you get the benefit of freely getting rid of old inefficient light globes and replacing them with much more energy efficient light globes. The basic maths of the compact fluorescent light globe and how much better they are than incandescent light globes are as follows. The standard incandescent light globe uses about 75 watts of electricity per hour, So in real dollar terms, it's about 1.5 cents to 2 cents of electricity an hour. The compact fluorescent globes that are designed to replace them use about 15 watts of electricity an hour. So in real dollar terms, that's more like 1/3 of a cent to 1/2 a cent. So it's about 5 times more efficient in how much energy it uses, so how much it costs to you. The other benefit of the compact fluorescent light globes is the significantly increased lifespan of the lights. The standard incandescent light globe lasts for somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 hours. Compact fluorescent light globes, you're looking at more like 10 to 15,000 hours, which in kind of average consumption is about 10 to 15 years of light, which is really, really good. So I think they're great lights. They generate the same amount of light as the light that they're replacing. They last for much longer and they're much cheaper to run, and they're free. I think there's a lot of benefit. You can see that there's quite a lot of benefits to getting those installed. The replacement lights come in a number of different forms, so not that they look different, but light globes that are designed to fit in different fixtures. So I'm sure you would know that there are different types of lighting fixtures around the house. There's screw-in bulbs or Edison screw bulbs. There's bayonet fixtures, which are the ones with the 2 prongs coming out the side. And if you've got any of those little chandelier light globes around your house, they can also be replaced as well, which is fantastic. One of the other energy efficient exchanges that's available to you is swapping over your shower head for a water efficient shower head. At a domestic level, changing your old shower head, if it's not water efficient, for a water efficient one, is probably the single most biggest change you can make to your water consumption at all. The old water inefficient shower heads would use approximately 15 to 20 litres of water a minute. For a shower to be considered a water efficient shower head, it's going to be using less than 9 litres of water a minute. The ones that are going to be installed by AGL, or that are going to be available to you, the Interbath, use about 9 litres of water a minute. So you're looking at nearly a 50% reduction in your water consumption whilst you're in the shower, which is really, really good. If you remember a couple of years ago, there was the water restrictions in Melbourne where we were, and I think out here as well, did you have the water restrictions out here, 155? So if you had have one of the old showers at your property and you were at the 155 restriction on your water consumption, even if you were having a 4-minute shower during the day, that was half of your water usage going pretty much just on a very quick shower. Swapping your shower over to a water efficient shower, that half of, that 80 litres that you might have been using in the shower is going to drop to something like 40 in a 4-minute shower. That's a pretty big difference. So swapping your shower head over, again, I think is a really, really good thing to do. It's there's definitely a lot of people are knockers on water efficient shower heads because they apparently produce a slightly different form of shower, but certainly I have a water efficient shower head installed at my property. I think it does a fantastic job. I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending it to people if it didn't do a good job. So again, like the light globes, it's definitely something to consider. It makes a huge difference to your water consumption. Please do bear it in mind. The final energy efficient upgrade available to you isn't an exchange like the shower heads and the light globes. It's actually an installation. So what is now available as of about 6 weeks ago now are 2 different types of standby power controller. One for your computer and one for your TV area. The computer one works very well. They both work quite simply. Once they're installed, they don't really require any extra input from you. I'm sure, does everyone have a good idea about what standby power is? Hands up. Yep. Standby, so if next time you're in the lounge room, have a look at your TV, where the TV is. You probably notice that on the TV, the DVD player, the digital tuner, the Foxtel if you have it, or the PlayStation, there's going to be a number of lights or clocks or flashing lights. That's indicating that that appliance is still drawing a small amount of power, and that small amount of power is costing you money. In a lot of cases, that's electricity consumption that you don't actually need to be using, because there's no sense in those appliances being on if you're not actively using the TV. They're all, in most cases, they're slaved to the television, or they're reliant on the television for them to be a benefit for you. So that's an area where, by eliminating that standby power, which is what that power consumption is called, you can make some significant changes to your energy consumption as a whole. Standby power makes up approximately 7 to 10% of your total electricity consumption. So managing it by using some of the standby power controls can certainly reduce that percentage of your electricity consumption quite drastically. So as I said, there's two different types of standby power controller. The PC one is very, very straightforward. Into the top plug, you plug your computer. Into the bottom plug, you plug the power board with all the appliances that rely on your computer for use, the computer monitor, for example, or the printer, or the external hard disk. And basically, they're slaved into the computer being on. So if the computer's on, the power runs to the circuit with the monitor and the power and the printer plugged into it. When the computer's off, the power is cut to that circuit. So it's very, very easy to manage. It doesn't require any extra input from you once the device is installed, and it's very easy to install. So that's a really good way of meaning that you don't have to worry about around your computer switching appliances on and off when you're using the computer. It means it's already done for you. The audio-visual standby power controller is slightly more complex because it operates in two ways. There's a timer in it. The timer can be set to 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. When the TV is on, if you haven't used the remote, change the channel, turn the volume up for however long you set the timer for, a green light on the device, on this device here, will start flashing at you. What that green light is just saying is, if you're still in the room and you're still watching TV, can you change the channel or turn the volume up just to let me know that you're still in the room? Because if you're not, I'm going to cut the power to the rest of the circuit. So it's a really, really easy way of, because a lot of people do turn the TV on, go out of the room, leave it on, and that's not really an effective way of using that appliance. So what this works, the way this works is that if you do that, you leave the TV on, it shuts itself down after an hour and a half because there has been no input from you. It's also, again, the device is slaved into the power consumption running through the circuit. So if you turn the power on the TV off, the device detects the significant drop in power consumption running through the circuit, and it switches all the other appliances running through the circuit off. So again, like the computer, into this circuit you'd plug things like your TV, your DVD player, your digital tuner, or your PlayStation, so that once you turn the television off, the device detects that and it switches them off for you as well. So it's, again, a really easy way of managing your standby power consumption without requiring any extra input from you.